it's Saturday morning, and we just got back from Reno. Me, my wife, my daughter, my son, his girlfriend, and 3 dogs. We went to Reno. We went driving around in Nevada, just kind of screwing off for a couple days. It was kind of nice. It just was kind of a spontaneous thing. We just decided, let's just get away for a couple days, and we took off Thursday morning, and here we are Saturday morning. We're back, and now we got to get back to work. 4th of July is coming up on, let's see, what is that, Wednesday? So if I don't post another video by then, which I think I will, but I hope everybody has a good 4th with their family or their friends, and enjoys a little bit of time off too to celebrate the 4th of July. So anyway, I got quite a few things going on right now. I got a MT835 Challenger that the hitch won't work on. We're going to go look at that. I got a Case IH LBX 432 big baler that's got all kinds of problems. We'll get down there. I think that's going to be sometime today. I've got a bunch of air conditioners to do today, 3 of them to do, 8200, 4960, and an 8300. So we got our work cut out for us today. You can definitely tell the 4th of July is coming up. There is traffic like crazy where there normally isn't. So the first thing we're going to look at is the hitch. That's priority number 1. Get that big tractor where they can get to, I think they're ripping with it. Getting ready, they're trying to get all this ground prepped for fumigation, for fall fumigation. So they'll work that ground up. That's what, I don't think a lot of guys understand that. I've seen some comments where they say, oh, nothing grows in that powder. Actually, that ground has to be worked like that in preparation for fumigation. I mean, what they do is they work that ground up really good, and then they let the seeds germinate, and they let the weeds just start to come back up in that ground. And that's when those seeds start germinating again, and the weeds start coming up, that's when you want to that's when you want to put the methyl bromide and anhydrous in. That's when you kill it. So that's the whole purpose of those guys working the ground the way they do. There is a reason for it. They're not just out there working the ground because it just, they want to burn some fuel, they ain't got nothing else to do. There's a reason for it. It's just a different type of crop. I think a lot of guys in the Midwest and stuff that grow corn don't realize a lot of the stuff that's out here that's fruits and vegetables, and it's just done completely different than some of that other stuff is. It's not we're not harvesting our corn and taking a one-pass a one-pass till and plant type of implement and going back and over it and planting it again. That's not the way this works. You could never grow a strawberry like that. The strawberry plant is really, really, they're hard to grow. They're really susceptible to disease. I mean, it's amazing to me how the cold and stuff doesn't really bother them too bad. They're really, really good in the cold weather. The strawberry plant is. The strawberry plant's a really neat plant. I mean, it's things like the cold and stuff like that, they're tougher than other plants. But the other things though with the strawberry plant is one little disease can get in there and I mean just ruin you, just wipe the whole crop out. I mean, funguses, what do they call that, leaf spot? I'm trying to remember the leaf spot. That's a huge problem too. But it's just a lot of this row crop and stuff's totally different than the guys that are raising soybeans and corn and stuff like that. It's totally different. So And I don't know much about corn and soybeans, so I don't pretend to make comments thinking I know what the hell I'm talking about there. I think I see the cab sticking up above the ridge there. 835, I think. Look at all the solar panels these guys put in out here. Yeah, look at the solar panels. There's some money sitting there. I was in like over in Toohey Lake, and I couldn't believe that some of them farmers over there are taking that good productive farm ground, and they've got fucking solar panels on you know, 300 or 400 acres of good farm ground, and it just breaks my heart seeing people do that. Hell, it breaks my heart going down south to Stockton and Manteca on the other side of that, and some of the best farm ground in the world, and they're building fucking houses on it, you know? It's like, geez, what is wrong with you people, man? Okay, well, let's see what's going on with this old gal. You two kids want to get out. Let me get my coveralls here. Okay, go, go, go. Go, 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 Daisy. Go, go, go. Pretty dusty out here, isn't it? Hey, guys. Hey, come on. Get out from underneath it. Come on. Hey, get over here, ding dong. Go some. Golly. Knucklehead. The one place they shouldn't be, and that's right where they go. What the hell's that noise? I don't know. I think this one here, pretty soon, we're going to have to in-frame the engine on it too. She's using about a gallon of oil a day is what they told me. Old workhorse. See if we can get a coat. Let's see. MBDS, MBD53. Alright. Let's go to the codes. Okay, occurrence is 2. Let's look at that one. Unexpected engine shutdown. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Go to the next one down. Occurrence is 26. It's a data link. Go down to this one. Brake accumulator warning. That is not it. Park brake. Moving while, yeah, okay. It's engaged while somebody's moving it. Okay. See if we can get to somewhere where there's a hitch code. Open circuit. That's probably going to be where we're wanting to be. Probably gonna have to get the cat sys fired up and find out what those are open circuited mean. No communicating with the ECM. Implement ECM not communicating. Okay, so occurrence is 1. First 15,858, last 15,858. So I'm kind of curious as to how many hours does the machine have on it right now. Where's the hour meter at on this thing? Now my phone's going off. Okay, so service hours is 15,896.5. Go back to that one code, and it says oh shit, 15,858. Implement ECM not communicating. 15,858, 15,896. $858. That was like 30 hours ago. So we got a bad connection, I wonder, on implement ECM, or it says the implement ECM is not communicating. Well, let's fire this thing up. Definitely not doing anything, not even throwing a code. Won't do anything. That is kind of weird, huh? That's kind of weird. I might have raised and lower solenoids. Are they plugged in and all that good crap? Let's look at the raised and lower solenoids. Make sure they're all plugged in. Somebody hasn't stepped on one cleaning the back of the tractor off or something, which is known to happen on these. Yeah. I'm gonna have to climb up here in this beast. See the bastards. I'm about to get my coveralls on. Let me climb back up there. It's my blower nozzle. Do this off. Okay. So, alrighty. So you've got your. Alright, there's our hitch lines. This is the line here going to the accumulator. He's having an accumulator for the hitch on them. So then that line goes over here into this valve block. Which one's it going into though? Let's see here. Alright, and this one's going out here, which is that hose, and it's going into here. So the lower valve block. Okay, so that's the lower block. Okay. There's a pressure return load sense port there. Son of a bitch. Climbing around this thing. Trying not to step on wires and solenoids and shit like that. Okay, so now the hoses that would let it down are going to be plumbed into. Okay, this ought to be teed somewhere, I would think. Okay, so where's it letting the oil out of? These are pressure hoses here to raise it up because they're going to the bottom of the cylinder. So this hose here comes out the top. Okay, so it goes into that hose there. Okay. I gotta trace that out and see where that's going down there because I'm not seeing what the hell the deal is here. Not familiar with these as much as I am. The older Challengers. Okay, so here's the hose here, and they've got it teed. Got it teed right there. And this back tube, so that's what they're doing. They're teeing in here. So it's that tube right there. I see it, and I'm climbing back up here now that I see where the tube is. Figure out. I think it's the same valve block. Which tube was it that I was looking at? It's going to be that one right there. This tube right here. And it is. It comes back in here into this valve block. Okay. So which one's the raised solenoid and which one's the lower solenoid? I wonder. FB. What's this top valve block doing? What the hell is it doing? Not sure what that top valve block's doing. But apparently the bottom valve block, this valve block here, has got to be the hitch valve. So let's see if we've got a hitch valve stuck open. Maybe the raise valve is stuck open, or we're not getting power to the lower, or maybe the lower valve's stuck closed and it's putting power to it but not lowering it. So I'm guessing, being this line here and this line here are on this side of the block, that's the raise section, and this side here is the lower section. FB, I'm not sure. RB. Raise. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Let's see if we got any power to these. And I'm wondering if I go, I've had luck doing that before. I'm going to go try something. I'm going to go to the down position, start it. Make sure the dogs are out of the way. I'll stand here and tap on this valve and see if it'll go down. What I got going on here is I got power to the raise and lower solenoids, both of them. You'd think that you would unplug one and the hitch would go down. Ain't doing it. So that's what I can do that with my leg. Codes in here for fender switches. I wonder if we got a fender switch sticking in the up position, putting power to the raise and the lower solenoid. I got power on both of them. Hitch lower solenoid open circuit. That's the lower solenoid there. Okay. The other one. Oh, you son of a bitch. Not wanting to come undone. Let's see. That's the raised solenoid. I think it would go down though. I wonder if these solenoids on this Challenger, I wonder if they're switching the grounds on them. That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if they're switching the grounds. Idea. Let's try this. That ain't working. Out of the way. Raised her back up. Figure out what the hell's going on. Switch, or there's some codes in there for fender switches that with the current hours the machine has on it. that says input's incorrect. So I'm wondering if a fender switch is saying that it's always putting power to the up solenoid. Let's see if we can ohm check it. Let's switch their functions. Let's go around here to this other switch. God, if we could just unplug the fender switches and try it, I don't know. Well, this one doesn't even function, so I'm wondering if this is the one I ought to be chasing. Now let's set the panel off there and let's look at it. 13mm. Oh, it's a beautiful day out here. But it's gonna get hot on us. Okay, guys. We got her figured out. Alright. So that one fender switch over there, what I did, it was always putting power to the up solenoid. That's what it was doing. And you can see, look where the wires or insulation's all gone off there. I just unplugged it and then went in there and ran the hitch, and it goes back and forth now, up and down. Let's put this up here because he actually said that he had one of those switches at the shop. We're gonna go run and grab a switch, put that thing back on there. A new solenoid here, or not a solenoid, a new switch. Okay, this is the original switch. This was in this tractor here. Well, plastic piece supposed to be. Not sure about that. So, plastic broke on that. I don't know if that's supposed to be, if that's part of the old switch, I don't know. Yeah, that's part of the old switch. I gotta get that out of there, I think. If not, we just put it up. Glued in there. Somebody glued it in there. Somebody broke it originally is what happened. That's what happened. Yeah, somebody broke it originally is what happened. Yeah. First of all, let's check the important stuff and make sure it works. What we'll do is we'll tie it back to where it puts a little tension. Plug in and keep it in there. That's easy enough to do. Just a fender switch. We're not putting main bearings in the engine. Make sure it works from inside the cab. Make sure it works. The actual fender switch itself works. Okay. Okay, the old ignition there's not one. There it goes. I got the battery disconnect off. I forgot. I always forget that. Okay. All right. C15 Acer. She's gonna have to be in framed using a gallon of oil a day, but they're using it and they said they're not gonna shut it down. Well, on to the other projects I got going for the day. Gotta get, guys, we made it back to the shop. We did the Challenger, and then I went to another nursery and I had a 8300T that had all air conditioning complaints. I had an 8300T, 4960, and an 8200 wheel tractor. Well, I got to the 8300T and the 8300T, the high side Schrader valve on the charging port was leaking, so pretty sure that's what it was. I couldn't see anything else obvious, so it was clear empty. I put another Schrader valve in it and recharged it, and went over to the 8200, and the heater control valve was stuck open on it, so I took a pair of vice grips, like I said, like I was giving hell everybody about the other day. But I got a new heater control valve ordered for it. It'll be in Tuesday. So yeah, I did my Oki thing and put a pair of vice grips on it and pinched the inlet line coming into the heater core off, and then got that blowing cold so they can run it today, and then wait for the train to honk his horn. But 4960, they were supposed to bring it over to me, and they kept loading pipe with it, and I told Days, come here, babe, you want your other beef jerky, hon? Come here, get your beef jerky. Here, Duke, get your beef jerky, pard. Anyway, so, well, that's not good. That thing is already melting, dude. My candy bar's already melting. Oh, son of a bitch. I think it's melting. I gotta eat this thing, guys, before it melts on us. Anyway, we got our big baler over there, and our hooked to our T7070. It's an LBX 432. We got a lot of work to do on it. I'm gonna eat my candy bar for the sumbitch melts. And then I'll eat my corn dogs. And then we'll go work on that big baler. Okay, here's my new project. This is the Case IH LBX 432 big baler. She's about due for a tire here. No, what the hell was I seeing on the other side? There was a tire that was just about. But anyway, I guess the dealer had this thing for almost 2 years. He grows his own hay for his own cows, is what he does. And the hay was so cheap because the hay market was so bad that it was cheaper for him, instead of turning the pumps on and doing all the hay in, it was cheaper for him to just buy the hay. But the hay prices have come back up again, so now he's going to start haying again. So he knew this in advance. He bought this baler used, and I think he paid 75 grand for this baler. Got 1 season out of it, and I guess the first season he had it was just nothing but problems. And long story is, the dealer charged him a bunch of money to have a mechanic out there that still didn't fix anything. That was supposedly to be their baler mechanic, and I don't know. This is the story I'm getting. I'm not taking sides or anything, to be honest with you, on this deal. I'm just telling you what he told me. And then he got a big bill, and it still wasn't fixed. And anyway, it sat there for 2 years after the first season that they used it, because he wasn't going to be haying. And he basically made a deal with the dealer and told him, look, you know, fix all this stuff. This thing's never been right since I got it. Well, it sat there for 2 years, okay? I went out and looked at it the other day, and the first thing I did, let me open these twine boxes and stuff up on it. And one of the first things that I noticed when I walked up, well, one of the actual first things I noticed was the twine hanging down. I mean, they couldn't even string the twine in it. But I mean, look at this shit. I mean, did they do anything to it? I don't know. Anyway, this is your stuffer box right here. And see this stuff that's been in here? Well, it's been in there forever. I mean, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything to this baler. 90% of the problems that I've ever been around, I'm not the baler expert, I'm still learning on the balers. I've been working on the big balers quite a bit lately. But one of the biggest things that I've seen with the big balers has been 90% of the problems is twine tension. And, I mean, I don't like the way the John Deere big balers have got you know, the flat piece of plate with 2 springs and 2 studs on it, and then that twine runs in between that plate, and you can get your tensioners. These things here, I'm sorry, man, but these things are absolutely chicken shit. I mean, what a fucking chicken shit deal that is. But look how loose the twine is coming out of the twine box. And look at this shit. I mean, they can't be tying right with this shit all hanging and loose, and I don't know what the hell they got going on. They got this one running above the trip arm up there. So I don't know what the hell they got going on. They got to retwine all that. That's one thing. I guess it wasn't cutting right. It wasn't making a bell right. This is a cutter baler. See, there's all your cutter knives. And they're probably all dullard and shit, more than likely. But there's some new cutter knives right here. So that's just a few of the things I noticed. Then I climbed up here. These are your flags for your slacker arms. What I call your slacker arms anyway. These are your slacker arms. That's your slack bar. That's your slack stop bar right down here. And anyway, another thing that I noticed, there was a bunch of twine wrapped around the bill hook on number 1 nodder. And that I cut it off of there, and you can see that bill hook is stuck open. All the rest of the bill hooks are closed. So we got to figure out what the hell's going on with that bill hook. You gotta get the twine routed through the slacker arms. We gotta get our twine tensioners, everything set right, you know, exactly right. Twine tension is critical. I mean, that's one of the most, it's an easy thing to do actually, just get the twine set up right. See, they got these, a little tension on them. I mean, there ain't nothing there, and of course the twine, I mean, they don't have anything. They just got shit laying everywhere, and I don't know. You know, this is a double knot baler, so you're gonna have an upper and a lower twine to it. So we got some work to do on this old gal. And then I gotta look and see, I'm not sure what the tolerance is. I gotta look this up. Now if it was a small baler, I was more experienced with the small balers. I'm just kind of getting into these big balers. So I am not the expert, I will say that right out of the gate. But I'm starting to learn a lot. But I'm not sure how much tolerance are supposed to be on the plunger bearings. When I looked at it, they seemed like they were pretty damn sloppy to me. Okay, so here's your plunger. The plunger slipped back on us. You can't see it now. That plunger was a head. I could probably turn the flywheel, and you can see back in there. See that plunger bearing right there? I don't know. See how much play there is there. I got to see what kind of tolerance we're supposed to have there. So we got some work to do on this thing today. I'm gonna go start looking up some specs in that book I got, and then see where we're at. Well, anytime I start a baler, I always put my dogs in the cab. I just get so nervous about baling one of them. What we're gonna do is gonna start this thing. I want to see if the pickup, I want to go over everything. I want to make sure sure the clutches are working. I mean, they probably need to be burnished and slipped a little bit on these knotter clutches and the pickup clutch and all that stuff to get them, since it's been sitting for 2 years. Let's just see what works and what doesn't, and what's spinning and what's not. Whew, she's a hot tamale in here. Get the old okay, she's spinning the old flywheel. Plunger's moving. Oh, let me guess, it's got some safety shit. It'll probably kick the fucking PTO out when I get out of the seat. Piece of shit. What happens? Does it kick it off or what? It's probably gonna kick the PTO off. Yeah, it's turning so far. Pickup's turning, the cutter knives are turning. last night doing all that twine wrapped around me. Them sons of bitches. Okay, where's that bill hook now? That bill hook is closed now. Let's trip the knotter again. Bill hook is still closed. I don't know why that bill hook is stuck open like that. Needles are coming up. You watch that needle will come up. That needle is supposed to deliver the twine, the upper and lower twine, to your notch in your twine disc. And then that twine disc will rotate, and then wrap the bill hook will catch the twine. The bill hook will turn and close because that bill hook runs on a cam. And then what happens is your wiper down there on the bottom, it'll pull the knot through and pull it off the bill hook. See the needle come up, close the needle. So it's making a racket down here. Look on both sides and make sure the knotter, make sure the plunger bearings are moving. We got to check the clearance on our plunger too, make sure our plunger, that's just going to be the twine box. See that plunger bearing's not even turning right there? That plunger bearing ain't doing anything. I don't know if it's locked up or if it's just not touching. You see that one plunger bearing, it's not turning. I got to get something to stand on and see if it's not touching the rail on the bottom or if the bearing's just locked up. No, the plunger's just out of adjustment. That bearing kind of touches right there. It's just out of adjustment. I think the left front corner, I think that the bearing up on the front adjusts. We got to get that adjusted right. That ain't right. So it's set up like this Case IH is basically a New Holland Baler. You want to adjust this left front hand one here to see if you can get your plunger squared up in the chamber here. So this is an eccentric on here. And what a guy can do also, just to make sure he doesn't have bad bearings and see if they're rough, what I do is I just come up here like this. It's kind of hard to do with holding onto the camera. But I just like to, let's see if I can set this right maybe. What I do is I just take my bar and stick it up under the plunger, well, kind of the bracket for the plunger bearing. Pick them up. Just see how they feel. And the book says there's supposed to be 30 to 60 thousandths between the top rail and there, and I can guarantee you there's probably 100 thousandths there. There's no 60 thousandths there. There's no way in hell. So anyway, we'll adjust this eccentric. You can take the nut loose and then turn this bolt to turn the eccentric on there to change the up or down on this roller to try to get your pitch right on your plunger. and see if we can get that one on the other side to make contact. And see, this one, the book says adjust the left front one. Well, to me, if the right front corner is up, then that means that the left front, to me, the left rear corner is the one that needs to be adjusted to make the right front come down. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we need to turn this one counterclockwise a little bit to let that sag on that side. I don't know. We'll just have to play with it. And the other thing we're going to have to really look at and check on this thing is I'm going to have to pull the knives out. I'll see if I can. There he is. There's that gargantuan spider. I'm going to fix that bastard right now. I'm going to fix him real good. Good old brake clean. Son of a bitch. I'm a chicken shit when it comes to spiders. I don't like them. Let's fix him right there. Hey buddy, how you doing there? Sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, get out of there. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Look at that big bastard. Yeah, he don't like that brake clean at all. Yeah, shit's not good, is it? Yeah, I'm a chicken shit. Snakes and spiders, I don't like them. Snake, at least shit, I was climbing up on this son of a bitch the other day. How the hell was I doing? I don't remember how the hell I was getting up there that day. Hammer down, climb up in the bell chamber here. Okay, so our next thing is we'll have to get the plunger here in the right position. And then we need to check the clearance between our plunger knives and our stationary knives. A stationary knife in the bell chamber. I checked it the other day and it was about 1/4 of an inch. It's supposed to be 1/8 of an inch. That's twice as much as what it's supposed to be. So that's not good. So I'm trying to figure this out. They're supposed to be nice on this outside edge. There's nothing there. I'm not that familiar with these. Seems like to me there ought to be a knife there on the outside edges. That doesn't seem right. Well, let's run the plunger. We need to go back a little bit and then check the clearance on them. Brett's hauling egg. He's throwing small bells or big bells right now. We got one harrow bed and they put the mill stack on it for the big bells, and then they'll take that mill stack off and put the small bell loader back on it. Okay, yeah. Need a piece of 1/8 inch key stock, you know what? Guy had a piece of 1/8 inch key stock. You could shove it right up there. I'm gonna see if I got some. If the guy had a piece of 1/8 inch key stock and see how much play there is there. Got 125 thousandths with the feeler gauges stacked up here. Shit, I went a little too far with the plunger. I have to come ahead. The knives are just beat to piss in it. Let me come back ahead a little bit. We'll see what we got. Need to come ahead just a little bit. Okay. So, you want to check it right between your, right here. 1/8 of an inch is what it's supposed to be. It ain't no 1/8 of an inch. It's, check it at different locations, different knives, but it ain't right. So the way you change that is you'll shim it between here and there, but if you start messing with your plunger bearings up there, you probably want to wait till you do these till you get your plunger squared up in your bell chamber first, because that's going to change a little bit here when you mess with the plunger up there with the plunger bearings. See, here's your rails here. You can take these rails out and shim them, and on these balers you shim the top rail. And there's not much wear on the rails themselves. The rails are pretty clean. You'll know when your rails are really worn. You'll have a ridge worn in your rail. Here's a 1/4 inch piece of key stock right here. I can almost get that 1/4 inch key stock in there. Almost. So, and another thing is, look at these knives. Look how beat up these knives are. I think what we're going to do is order a set of knives, the stationary and the plunger knives. See how the notches in them, I mean, they're not even worth sharpening. They're just beat to shit. And I'm not sure. I'm going to have to get in the book and look. It just seems like to me there'd be a knife over here too. The stationary knife goes over here, but there's nothing there on either side, so I gotta look in there and see. Somebody that's an expert on them would probably know. But I will get this thing to where it bales hay and bales good. So what we gotta do, we'll get the twine run. This one here ain't sticking up. Seems like where it ought to be. It just froze up or something. A lot of little things like that that make a huge difference on these balers, is making sure all that shit works. First thing is probably ought to do is get the twine running it to where it'll tie. Alright, first thing I'm actually going to do is adjust this bearing here and try to get that bearing to where it's contacting. But I want to see what my clearance is here. It's supposed to be 30 to 60 thousandths. I don't know if the bearing would be worn. The rails aren't worn any. Neither one are. See the shim in this rail up here? So it almost looks like it needs another shim in it. To shim it down where it needs to be. Let's see what our clearance is here. Let's go 60 thousandths. Here's 30 and 29, which is 59. Pretty close 1,000th. Ain't gonna make that much difference. I know I could probably go at least another 30 thousandths, probably 120 thousandths worth of play there. I had another 30, 20, 59. There's 87 thousandths right there. Now I can get 87 in there. There's 87 thousandths right there. Let's add another 27 to it. That's pretty snug right there. Okay, so I got, let's see what actually fits in there better. So we can dial it in, see how much clearance we actually have. I called 2 dealers down south and the one up here, 3 different New Holland dealers, and they just asked them what the clearance is supposed to be because I didn't have a book at the time, and not one of them fuckers called me back. Not 1 out of 3 of them. What we got there? We got 20. That's actually just about perfect right there. Let me see, let me add this up. So, according to the book, we just have 30 to 60 thousandths between the top rail right here and the top face of your roller. And I've got 104 thousandths. There's something else that ain't right. Alright. Plunger knives to stationary knife clearance. We already checked that. Add or remove shims, tighten nuts 1, reinstall plates. Does it say anything about knives being over there on the corners of the plunger? Plunger and side brackets. Plunger main rollers and side rollers adjustment before adjusting the plunger knives. See, always check the plunger and main rollers and side rollers adjustment before adjusting the plunger knives and the top and side face brackets. Okay. I mean, then you can go in and adjust your hay dogs. Tying mechanism. Okay, that's when we're into the tying part. But I'm gonna get this a bearing just. I'm gonna get this loose and try to get it to where it at least touches on the other side. I mean, it's sitting like this to where it's got it tweaked up on the other side and the other bearing's not even touching the rail.